Welcome to Drum Talk, and today's Drum Talk is going to be about the Tama Classic Hardware series. And today I'm going to talk about the cymbal stand, the classic cymbal stand, the classic hi-hat stand, the classic snare stand that come as part of the classic hardware package. Now, the classic hardware package comes with two cymbal stands, one hi-hat stand, and a snare stand. So what I'm doing today is I'm adding this classic hardware package to my little small jazz Gretsch kit. And my Gretsch kit today also has the tom mounted on an old Ludwig WFL stand, and it has a Slingerland L arm that's mounted to the bass drum using a floor tom bracket, a modern Gretsch floor tom bracket. So let's start with the hi-hat stand. Hi-hat stand comes in three pieces: a bass piece, a tube that holds the hi-hat cymbal, bottom cymbal, and the rod that goes inside it. And it also has a hi-hat clutch, which has got a really nice design because it's got a little bit of rubber inside the clutch so your top cymbal doesn't keyhole by moving around. Great jazz players always keep the top cymbal a little loose, and that's where you get that keyholing effect in cymbals. Now, it also has this great adjustment on the bottom, so you can adjust the footboard to be higher or lower, and you can adjust the tension to be tighter or looser by playing with the bottom part of the hi-hat footboard. And it really is a nice adjustment, and it really adjusts nice. This hi-hat is in the style of the 1950s Ludwig hi-hat stand, except for the pedal is solidly put on and it doesn't move. Now, the snare stand is very much like the flat bass Ludwig snare drum stands, except for the snare bottom kind of is more of a tripod, which allows you to get out of the way of the legs of the hi-hat or the legs of any other flat bass stands in the area. The basket itself has got a nice little locking mechanism, so you can lock it tight to the size of your snare drum, and your snare drum pops out very easily. The cymbal stands, they are three pieces, the top piece being a solid rod attached to a tilter that's got teeth on it. The cymbals also float like the Ludwig stands of old, where it's got a nice little metal rounded seat that it sits on, a piece of rubber, and also two felts with a top. And it just floats. And it really, I think it does add to the sound of jazz cymbals. The cymbals just seem to kind of float better. Better than on your traditional big heavy-duty stands with the felt all tightened down on it. And that plastic that doesn't move. This floating metal piece with the rubber just makes the cymbals float a little bit. Kind of in that old jazz style. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up a WFL snare stand until I get the Tama Classic tom stand to go with it. And the WFL stand holds a 12-inch tom, but it's not going to hold the 10-inch tom real well. And the Tama Classic tom stand actually holds a 10-inch tom. So I think it's going to be great for my setup. Now, my tom stand right now has got a kind of a funky modified bass. I don't know if it's a Camco bass or if it's a Ludwig bass, but it is in a 50s era bass, and it's got a WFL basket. The L arm on my bass drum is a Slingerland, an old Slingerland L arm that adjusts up and down, kind of like Buddy Rich used to use, and I'm using a new series Gretsch floor tom bracket that fit the holes that were on my bass drum and allowed me to hook that third arm up. So now I have three cymbals, two cymbal stands, and it's all going to fit into one nice little tight package. Now, I'm not filming the package for you today, but maybe on another video I'll actually show you how it all packed up into one case. But for the time being, just know that these cymbal stands can take the abuse. They can take the hard-hitting playing that I play. As you can see when I'm playing jazz especially, I'm kind of swishing the hi-hat. I'm slamming on that hi-hat. That hi-hat's not moving anywhere. And I don't even have the little anchors that you have on the bottom of the hi-hat stand dug into the rug. It's just there. The cymbal stands, they move like you'd expect the flat bass stand to move, but it doesn't move over. And the base of these cymbal stands is no more than 18 inches. These cymbal stands weigh 3.5 pounds. Okay, and all total, this weighed 22 pounds coming with the packaging. So that means that these stands all together are not going to weigh more than 20 pounds. So I'm really excited to pack this up and take it on a gig and try it out. This is something that makes an old guy like me feel comfortable playing music again and taking out and going out and doing gigs. And I believe there's going to be some room for those floor tom legs, maybe even my Camco bass drum pedal, which folds up. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope you try out the Tama Classic hardware stands.